My name is Emily. I have a 30-minute flow to share with you today. I'm going to suggest that we begin in child's pose, but you are, of course, welcome to begin in any position that feels good to you. If you are taking child's, 2 ways to come into this. Having the knees together and the arms stretched out long is option 1, and option 2 is knees wide, big toes to touch. So, choosing whatever feels good to you today. Knowing that one is not better than the other, just there is definitely one that's probably better for you today. So maybe trying on both and seeing which one feels better. Letting it be the first of many times that you check in with yourself today in your practice. Right away, take a full deep breath in and an equally long exhale. And just starting to transition and arrive. Noticing how everything that you're holding right now has landed in the body. Perhaps taking a moment also to notice what is the pace of your thinking in this moment. It might feel rapid. You might also notice that you're not really thinking about much of anything, or perhaps you're somewhere in the middle on that spectrum. Check in to see what is the energy level that you are bringing with you to your practice today. Letting all of this noticing inform the choices that you make. If you're feeling tired and just run down, then make choices that are going to feel supportive and gentle. And if you're feeling really full of energy and wanting to try new things, then giving yourself the freedom to move and breathe from that place. And if you're not sure where you fall there, maybe using the next 30 minutes just as a place to explore and be curious about where it is you are today, energetically. Notice also if there is a particular intention that you'd like to practice with in mind today. Maybe this idea of really staying present with your experience and moving in a way that is kind to that experience is resonating. So we'll breathe all those intentions in deeply through the nose and out through the mouth. Option to stay here in stillness, or on a breath in, reach the fingertips along toward the front of the room. And on an exhale, take them over to the right, letting your left palm rest on top of your right. Just applying some gentle pressure to encourage the hips down and back. Breathing into space in the side body here. Staying for one more breath cycle. Breath in. Equally long exhale. Inhale, walk the fingertips back towards center. And on an exhale, take it over to the right. This time, right palm comes on top of left. Anchoring the hips down and back. Breathing into space in the side body. Filling up like a balloon here. Breath in, walk the fingertips back towards center, and very gently pull yourself forward into tabletop, bringing your palms underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Toes can stay curled, or the tops of your feet can rest on the mat. Breath in, lift the gaze, drop the belly. Lingering here for as long as feels good. And on an exhale, curving and coiling the spine. Moving with your breath here. When you feel that inhale initiate, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, maybe closing the eyes. And on an exhale, curving and coiling the spine, chin tucks. Just letting breath and movement unite here, letting your attention be really captivated by this simple movement. Noticing also if some other just intuitive movements, variations want to happen here. Maybe a wag of the hips side to side. Maybe turning your fingertips back towards you to stretch out the forearms. Perhaps taking it through a child and bringing it back into tabletop. Really getting back in touch with yourself here. Listening to what feels good, following that. We'll explore here for a few more breaths. Meeting in a puppy pose, take the knees to the wide edge of the mat, shins come to the wide edge of the mat. Walk your fingertips out long in front of you, and then very slowly start to ease your heart any amount down toward the mat, walking the arms off to the side so that the shoulders can relax and release here. Staying for a full breath cycle. On a breath in, very slowly bring yourself back through tabletop. Stay for an exhale. Breath in, take the ball of the left foot back, rocking and rolling over the left foot, just waking up the hamstring here. On a breath in, float the left foot high. It's not going to go terribly high. Option to stay here. A right palm can also float long. Gaze is right at the mat to keep a long neutral neck. Option to stay here or reach behind you for the inner edge of your left foot. And then on a breath in, maybe push the foot any amount into the hand. Just opening up the shoulder here. One more big breath in. On an exhale, reach the right arm forward, reach the left leg back. Stay here for a breath in. On an exhale, ground the right palm down, swing onto the shin of the right foot. Take the left foot down as though you have warrior two arms. And on a breath in, lift the left arm high. Maybe even taking a circle with the left arm. Just getting the shoulder ready to move. If you're taking that circle, perhaps moving it in both directions. And on your next inhale, find one cat-cow to clear that away. Breath in, ball of the right foot floats back this time. Just rocking and rolling, hamstring stretch here. Breath in to float the right leg high, not so much that it's winging up and open, keeping the hips square. Breath in, float the left arm. And on an exhale, reach back for the inner edge of your right foot. Breath in to open up. Gaze is straight ahead. Breath in. On a breath out, reaching the left arm forward, right arm back. Exhale, left arm meets the ground, spinning onto the left shin. Right foot grounds down, warrior two in the right foot. Breath arm reaches high, maybe even taking it back. Mini back bend. Perhaps exploring those circles in the shoulder. Breath in brings you back around, finding one cat-cow. Breath in, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Feet are about hips width, hands are about shoulder width. Finding some equilibrium here so that not all the weight's being dumped in the wrists or back in the balls of the feet. Full breath in. Exhale, walk the hands to the feet at the back of the mat. Find a forward fold. Might feel good to take opposite hand to opposite elbow. Maybe hands hanging down feels better. Breath in, find your flat back, arms come roughly underneath the knees, gaze straight at the mat, shoulder blades roll down the back. Exhale, let it go. Forward fold. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Breath in, bend the knees, hands come to the knees, take a minute. And then rise on up, extended mountain pose, arms reach. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Close the eyes if that feels okay. Taking a moment here to reconnect with intention. Maybe this idea of cultivating that deep listening, really checking in with yourself at each moment to notice if the choices you're making about how you're moving your body are matching with the mental experience you want to create for yourself here. Always welcome to stay in a posture for longer than is cued. Otherwise, on a breath in, flutter the eyes, open, arms reach. Right palm grabs onto left wrist, and on an exhale, side stretch over to the right. Breath in, come back to center, switch the grip, lengthen, 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 and on an exhale, take this over to the left. Breath in, come back to center, exhale, cactus the arms, find a bind at the low back, lifting the heart, and on an exhale, bend, hinge from the hips. If the bind doesn't feel great, let it go. Otherwise, notice any sensation in the shoulders here. On your next exhale, letting that go, really slowly taking your time, walking your palms back into downward facing dog. Breath in, flow forward, high plank. Draw your attention to your belly, and then from there, start to lift the hips, hinge on back, downward facing dog. Maybe taking a few shakes of the head. Breath in, right leg lifts high. Exhale, step it forward to right wrist, left knee comes back down. Breath in, walk the hands on top of the right knee, perhaps even wiggling the front right foot forward to really open up the hip. Right hip is still hugging back and in. Might be nice to stay here. Might be fun to play with floating the arms. Wherever you are, big breath in. If you've got the arms up high, on an exhale, release them to the inside of the right foot. Start to toe heel the right foot off to the side, coming onto the pinky toe edge of that foot. Option to stay here, or perhaps reach the right hand back for your opposite foot, catching the outside edge. Maybe letting the head drop back any amount. Staying for a breath in. And on an exhale, slow, steady release with control. Find a runner's lunge, breath in. Exhale, step the left foot forward to meet the right at the front of the mat. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back, drop the right knee. Breath in, hands walk up the left knee, maybe even toe heeling the left foot a bit forward of the knee. On a breath in, perhaps floating the arms. Staying for a breath out. One more full breath in. If you've got the arms floated, on an exhale, release them to the inside of the left foot. Start to toe heel the left foot off to the side, coming onto the pinky toe edge of the left foot.
Maybe playing with reaching the left arm back for the outside edge of the right foot, letting the head drop back any amount. Breath in. Exhale, let it go with control. Find a runner's lunge. Breath in. Staying for breath out. Breath in. Right foot steps forward to meet the left. Take a minute. Pause here in this forward fold. Maybe try on opposite hand to opposite elbow. On a breath in, if you've got that bind, let it go. Find flat back. Exhale, forward fold, cascade forward. Breath in, bend the knees, pause, give yourself a moment of transition and rise on up, extended mountain pose, maybe taking a back bend. Exhale, bend, hinge, fold, let it go, full release. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, step back, high plank. Breath in, float the shoulders forward to the wrists. On an exhale, let the elbows scrape the ribs, hover. Breath in, you're on the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. Always moving from a place of center there. Letting that movement, that pull back, initiate from the core. Breath in, bend the knees, look forward, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, cascade. Breath in, bend the knees, rise on up, extended mountain pose, arms reach high. Maybe take the back bend if you like. On an exhale, bend, hinge, fold, nice full release. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, step back, high plank. Breath in, move the shoulders forward to the wrists. Exhale, lower down, hover. Breath in, upward facing dog or any other back bend. Exhale from core, take it back. Downward facing dog. Breath in, come high onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, drop both heels over to the left. Breath in, high onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, drop both heels over to the right. Breath in, come back to center. Last sun salutation here. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Breath in, longest lattice back yet. Exhale, fullest release in a fold. Breath in, bend the knees, rise up, maybe take the back bend. Exhale, bend, hinge, fold, let it go. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, step back, high plank. Breath in, float the shoulders forward of the wrists. Exhale to lower down, hover. Breath in to open the heart. Exhale from core, taking it back. Downward facing dog. One more breath in. Exhale, walk your hands to your feet at the back of the mat. Maybe this time walking the palms underneath the soles of the feet. Otherwise, opposite hand to opposite elbow, or maybe a bind would feel better. One more big breath in. If you've got any sort of bind, let it go on a breath out. Start to toe heel your feet out to the side of your mat. Heels face in, toes face out, and sink the hips. Find your malasana. Hands can come to heart center, letting the elbows push into the knees so that you can lift the crown of your head. One more breath in. On an exhale, palms meet the mat, toe heel your feet back to hips width. And on a breath in, start to walk the hands out, finding down dog. Breath in, right leg lifts high. Exhale, step the right foot forward, right wrist, left foot is off toward the left side of your mat. Breath in, rise up, crescent lunge. Hips are beautifully square to the front of the room. Grab hold of the left wrist, get long, long, long. And on an exhale, side bend over to the right. Breath in, come back to center. Exhale, cactus, the arms lift from the chest. Maybe find a bind if that feels good. Start to slowly transition weight into your right foot. Coming into your version of airplane. Breath in. Staying for a breath out. Hug the left knee into the chest on a breath in. On an exhale, step the left foot down, let the behind go, mountain pose. Big breath in here. Full breath out. Breath in, arms reach long, 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 extended mountain. Exhale, bend, hinge, fold. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back. You're in a runner's lunge. Right foot is off toward the right side of your mat. Breath in, rise up, crescent lunge. Staying, steadying on a breath out. Left arm grabs onto right wrist, breath in, get long, long, long. Exhale, bend over to the left, finding lots of length here. Breath in, back to center. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the chest, maybe take a bind, interlacing the palms the opposite way if you're choosing to do that. With no expectations, start to take weight into the left foot, letting the chest come any amount parallel for your airplane, staying for a breath in, breath out, breath in, right knee hugs into the chest, exhale, step it down, mountain, release the bind here, breath in, arms reach. Exhale, hands come to heart center, sink the hips, feet are parallel, finding chair pose. Making sure that your knees are not forward of your ankles. Any jamming in the low back, tuck the tailbone in a bit. Breath in, float high onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, let it go. Option to keep prayer arms or add them on a breath in. Exhale, airplane your arms by your sides. 2 more like that. Breath in, breath out, breath in, last one. Exhale, breath out, take a bind at the low back. Find a forward fold. Release the bind and an exhale, breath in, flat back. Exhale, step back, high plank. Lower down, breath in, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop the knees, child's pose. Rocking the head side to side, just massaging out the forehead. Welcome to stay here longer if you like. Otherwise, we'll make our way onto our backs. We're grabbing another layer. If you know that's something you would like. And as we meet on our backs, hug the knees into your chest and start to just massage out the lower back. Lingering over any areas of tension. And it might feel good to keep the knees in tight. It might feel better to circle them out away from one another and in toward one another. And from here, on a breath in, take the knees into center, and on an exhale, drop them over to the left. Letting your palms rest on your belly and your ribs. Closing the eyes here. One more breath in. Exhale, bring the knees back to center. Give the spine a moment here. Breath in, knees come into the chest. Exhale, drop them over to the right. Palms resting on the belly and the ribs. for one more breath in. Exhale, knees come back to center. Bring the right knee on top of the left as much as it can and reach for the ankles, flex the feet, and then invite the ankles any amount towards you for a reclined Gomukhasana, seeking some sensation in the right hip. Staying here for one more breath in. Full breath out, let it go. Just wiggle the feet, let that go. Left knee comes over right, flex the feet, grab for the ankles, reach them any amount towards you, looking for some sensation in the left hip. Staying for one more breath in. Exhale, letting it go. Breath in to lift the hips for an inversion. If you have a block, it can support the sacrum, or a bunch of pillows stacked up will work just fine. Arms can rest out long by your sides. Staying in this inversion as long as you like, or lowering the feet down to come right into a supported bridge. Feet are hips width. Soles of the feet are pushing into the mat here. Making your way into Shavasana when you feel ready. If you have blocks, you might enjoy taking Shavasana in a supported fish by taking one block underneath your shoulder blades on the medium height and leaving the other on the lowest height for your head. You can also take some pillows underneath your shoulders and just let your head drape back for a gentler back bend. And putting yourself in a mindset of receiving here. Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. Step the soles of your feet back towards you. Gently let the knees drop over to the right, slowly rolling over to your right, taking your time. Using the palms to prop you up in your own timing. Giving yourself that moment of transition before you arrive to a seat at the top of your mat. Eyes can stay closed, eyes can stay open. Let the palms rest on the knees. Letting yourself sit tall here. Taking a deep, long, slow inhale and an equally long exhale. Noticing again your energy level here, the pace of your thinking, sealing in your practice, reconnecting with your intention. Perhaps this idea of staying present with yourself, of cultivating deep listening. Sealing our practice in with a collective inhale. And a long exhale. Tucking the chin in gratitude for ourselves and each other. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Always a pleasure to record these videos for Black Crow, and hopefully we'll get to see each other really soon.